What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Beers and. Today, we're going to be talking about Beers and Keys. A little light ending.
Little light, yeah, because
A little light on the key.
Gonna unlock the happiness.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna strike the right note for this one.
Oh, we're gonna unlock the hoppiness.
Oh, well, that's better.
Oh, ho, 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 ho.
Let's start over. What's up, everyone? Welcome back. My name is Alex, and this is Nick. Nick.
I'm feeling great, Alex.
Me too.
I don't know about you, but I am very proud of my hoppiness comment.
That was nice.
This is gonna work out very well.
That was nice. If you're listening and not watching, go to YouTube and you can follow us and subscribe and hit that little notification button so you get all the videos upcoming.
Yeah.
Beers and Podcast.
And if you are listening to us, make sure that you have also subscribed and
Definitely on Instagram, Beers and Podcast as well, or Twitter at Beers and One.
Yep.
Let's get into the fun stuff.
We've got a meaty can here today.
This is our first crowler.
No, second
It's
crowler.
second crowler. What
Second-
was our the
Blueberry.
Blackberry.
Blackberry, blueberry,
The Blossom.
blackberry blossom. It was blackberry.
Fox and Hare, right?
Correct.
Yes.
So this is our second
Second
crowler. This is from Conclave Brewing. This is called Skullflower. It's an IPA.
Nice.
6% ABV.
I love that name.
It is. So do I. Actually, in the logo that they've got on their website, beautiful. So it is a dry hopped IPA with Citra and Sabro.
Nice.
Creating hints of candy peach rings, tangerine, nectarine with a coconut creamy sherbet background.
Ooh, so stone fruit.
Yes. And they are, again, they brew. Ooh, what am I doing?
I think it's Raritan Township.
They are brewing out of Raritan Township.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
So I've never had Conclave before, but from what I know of them, I believe they're, I don't know about upper echelon, but they're a higher class, higher quality craft beer.
It, again, from going on their website and whatnot, it was very clean. There weren't
Nice.
a lot of punny jokes or anything like that. It does seem like it is a more a refined brewery.
That's the word I would use.
A refined brewery, as I.
That's
Great.
one word I have so much trouble saying, and that's a real shame because I say it a lot.
Yeah, right. I know it's a rough one. Brewery.
Not my favorite.
Brewery.
Okay, anyway. So really excited to try the Conclave. Really excited to talk about Keys.
Yeah, this turned out to be a surprisingly fun topic for me.
Yeah, there was, at first when I said it, I was like, Keys, yeah. Like, that sounds great. And then I started doing research. Like, I called you.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, Keys.
Oh, and I was like, yeah, this was actually one of the greatest ones for me, considering I was like, oh my God, you can literally go anywhere.
If I don't hear about Francis Scott Key today, I'm going to be upset.
Oh God! Even through my brain of going through
That's
who's
not
called,
one that you thought, we're both going to have to party foul that next episode.
Oh shit!
That's okay.
Oh, say,
That's okay.
can you see?
Still can't believe, why the Star Spangled Banner? Okay, I get it. But, throw your name in there.
My sixth grade teacher, Mr. Reynolds, had turned around and told us, I don't remember how it came up in conversation. He was like, honestly, the Star Spangled Banner, he was like, the verse that we use, it's such a boring, terrible verse.
It really is.
He had us then listen to or read the lyrics then
There are 4 or 5 other verses, right?
Correct. And there I believe is another one, if not multiple, that is significantly better, if
much,
you will.
Much more embellished, I would say.
Yeah. And he was like, this one's meh.
Yep.
Meh, meh. I still think it's
It definitely is.
God,
It's,
all right.
It's okay for, if you want to just sound boring.
I like some of the other ones a lot more.
I'm a big O Canada fan. I gotta tell you.
Canada.
I freaking love O Canada.
I love Italy's just because of the fact is that it's the same thing over and over, but just
I don't think I know what it
faster in one.
Oh, that's great. I like
second
that.
half. And it's basically, the whole idea of at the end, it's basically, it turns around and says I will kill myself in defense of Italy.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean,
like we're ready to die.
I appreciate the patriotism.
Is one of the lyrics. Yep.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, it's great.
All right.
We need to, you know what? That's going to be an episode. Anthems. Yes.
That's a good
and
one.
We will open with
That's a great one.
Good Charlotte. And
there's no other one that I'd rather.
No. This is the anthem. Put all your hands up.
Y'all got the feeling. Sing if you're with me. You.
Oh, whoa.
Don't want to be just like... Okay, we're done.
Good Lord.
Question of the day. Have you seen Fight Club? I know the answer to this. I feel
Yes.
like. Okay. This is the real question. Would you be opposed to Tyler Durden's plan?
Refresh.
You're okay,
Refresh.
so you're a young Ed Norton.
Okay.
Meeting a young Brad Pitt. Who just... Spoiler alert, turns out to be your alter ego.
Your alter ego.
Right. So Tyler Durden's plan was to blow up the credit card buildings so that the records of the credit cards would be lost.
Right.
Essentially, everyone's debt reset to zero.
Would I do it?
Would you be into it?
The ends justifying the means is so difficult because
it's actually brilliant.
It's brilliant. Well, it was brilliant in 1999, I think, when Fight Club came out. Nowadays, what with the cloud and all that kind of good stuff. It's a really difficult question
because
it's a genuinely
morally, it's wrong.
Yeah,
but also
ethically,
it's still wrong. But you help people.
So it's funny that you asked this because of what it made me think of. So to answer your question, I'm still gonna say no.
Okay.
I'm still going to say no. It pains me. The socialist that I am and how I fuck big corporations and fuck big banks. But I was like, shake my fist in fury. That's for you, J.P. Morgan.
I wish I had something jangly on my fist.
It's a little, now I'm getting a little too into it.
It adds the effect.
But again, based on the idea of like destruction of property to such a degree,
it's the extreme.
Yeah,
that is
I'm
the
going to say no. But I had read, this is going back maybe with at least, I'm going to say in the past 3 years. If I'm not mistaken, what wound up happening was that Visa, the company Visa, specifically, I believe it was Chase Visa, Chase Bank, if I'm not mistaken, stopped operating in Canada for one reason or another. I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
But what they did was they erased all of the Chase Visa card, credit card debt for all of those individuals that were holders in Canada.
I had no idea this happened.
And I'm almost positive again. I feel like I remember reading it in the Times or in the Washington Post or someplace reputable.
Right.
And I remember thinking to myself, those motherfuckers.
Yeah, like if it was that easy to just erase it.
That fucking easy. How dare you?
Right.
How dare you?
That stuff.
So I say we blow up the bankers' houses. That I'm okay with. You can rebuild it. They'll be on vacation. They'll be away.
Right.
I don't want anybody to get hurt.
Right. We'll coordinate all these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have the resources.
I don't know why. I really did have
You got into that one.
I was very torn by your question, but then when I got to the idea of blowing up bankers' houses, there was no question.
Right back
it was a hard yes.
Sometimes it just takes a little while. Like, you got to plant the seed.
Man. Wow.
Inception.
That got visceral.
Yeah. Anyway.
I regret nothing.
That was a good one.
I
would say, even though it's that's a tough thing to do. I would be super tempted, but I don't know if I could ever actually go through with it. And I would say probably just for the fact that I wouldn't want anyone to get hurt, especially an innocent bystander. We thought the building was empty,
right?
And there was an after-hours meeting that lasted too long, and a whole boardroom.
And you know what I think, and the other part that's just hitting me in the moment as well is what's going on, or the building is more than just what's like going on, by the business itself. Like there are cleaning folks who like rely on having to clean that building for a job, and
That's
security, and IT, and folks that are not directly involved with the credit card debt. So I feel like taking those jobs away and livelihoods potentially.
That would be really short-sighted.
Again, reinforcing the socialist in me, because I'm genuinely concerned for the people that have to clean.
Right.
But fuck the bankers.
But also, like, you know what? We should just stop right there.
God.
Let's get back to the beer, sir.
Yeah, let's dive on in.
Yes.
This is gonna be interesting. By the way, this again did come from. This was another Nicole Fortier purchase.
Thanks, Nicole.
I also know I'm going to acknowledge to the family that I keep saying Fortier. And that's because of the fact is that
it's French.
Well, and nobody in the family consistently says either Fortier or Fortier. So I'm just going with Fortier because that's how Mare Bear says it.
That's fair.
So if you've got a problem, we'll take it up.
What Mare Bear
on.
says goes.
Preach. Dr. Mom.
Yeah.
She knows best.
If you're listening, we love you.
Love you. I'm officiating their one daughter's wedding, correct?
You are?
In fact, I am. I am the minister, Nicholas Messina.
Wow, that's a new title for you.
Yeah, and I'm very happy about it.
I didn't know you were ordained.
Yeah. Do you know what it takes in the state of New Jersey?
Not much, I feel like.
Why? Wow.
Well, was that wrong?
Listen, you don't want to run. Thank you.
You're welcome.
If I have to go and have a conversation with God right now, let me tell you, because I get a direct. I've got a direct line.
Direct line.
I'm
Sure.
patched right on in.
Much like the dugouts in the in baseball.
Exactly.
Direct line.
Exactly. They'll come get you. This is a beautiful color.
This
here.
I could smell the Citra.
It is hip hoppy.
And I can also smell the peach. I did a little bit more of a poor job pouring mine. But
interesting.
there's still like a ton of beer in here, by the way.
Yeah, I've got it. We've got to.
Okay.
If I get to it, I get to it.
By the way, Nicole, apologies in advance. A preemptive apology, if anything, for the disastrous scene that awaits at your place.
No,
but you know
no,
what?
no,
Your lovely husband will probably clean it for you.
It'll be fine.
Sure.
It'll be fine. As the first wife, I can't leave my second wife with that kind of cleanup.
That's fair.
Yeah, I won't do it to you.
So I did a terrible job pouring this, like I said.
You kind of poured out of the side of the can, is what I saw.
You know what it was? Is that when I cracked it, it was quite literally overflowing out of the.
It is
over the top.
The cuppeth quite literally overfloweth.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually try the nose grease trick.
Oh, that's right. What was that? Oh no. Oh, you mean with the beer foam?
Yeah.
Oh, I say just go for it.
Actually, I read somewhere that you're supposed to sip through the head of the beer because it gives you more, I guess, aromatics.
Yeah, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that the foam is what is going to also go ahead and keep in a little bit of that flavor and whatnot. Cheers.
That was interesting.
Ooh, yummy, yummy, yummy. I like that a lot.
Oh, interesting.
I like that quite a bit.
Wow, that's really smooth.
That candied peach at the
comes through
very, very end.
This does not taste like an IPA. A little bit, actually. You know what? Now I'm getting
very
it.
tiny.
Now I'm getting it.
Very, very tiny in the beginning, I think. But then all these other delicious, delicious flavors really come together nicely.
Wrong pipe.
It's not your beer. It's not your beer, Conclave.
Well, that's very good.
Right?
Conclave, hey.
I am
We're
genuinely
sorry.
surprised. Because you know what was
Yeah,
also
this is
really
good.
throwing me off in the description was the addition, or the way that they put, I believe, even on their page, had noted the background. It's not coconut, creamy strawberry background. It's coconut / meaning that it could be almost like perceived as one or the other.
I'm getting that.
And I do too.
Because I get like, after I swallow and like let it chill for a second, I get a strawberry note in the back.
Yeah, the creamy, the sherbet. Yeah, the creamy sherbet.
Yeah, I get that strawberry, but it's not totally strawberry.
No, because it's got a little bit of that coconut makes it a little milky, I think. I don't know. I'm very impressed by it, though.
This is, wow.
It's a good thing.
Whoa.
It's a good thing. I'm going to go real early on this This is a 4.3 for me.
Wow,
This is, I think, a delicious.
I might even be higher than you.
Really, I'm good right now. I'm
Okay.
gonna make my way on through my first.
I might even be higher than you.
Really,
Yeah, wow, this is really good.
it's surprising. I don't think I was expecting it.
The candied peach flavor, like peach rings,
It's such
It's
a distinct flavor.
but then it gets immediately backed up by the tangerine.
Correct.
Yep.
And
they play very well
and
together.
the tangerine naturally, again, just being a little bit more sour than like than an orange flavor. So I think it all comes together very, very nicely. I am genuinely impressed.
The
I might
tangerine-
even have to go higher on this realistically.
This
than
is really
4.3.
good. The tangerine
Delicious.
comes in and like almost takes away from some of the sweetness of the peach, but in a good way. And then it finishes very, very
was
dry and clean.
Just gonna say,
It's almost like it moves through your palate as you're drinking it.
well, because then nectarine is such a
forgot that was in
smoother,
there.
lighter flavor. So I think you're
Right.
right. The tangerine acting as almost like an adjunct between the candied peach rings, the nectarine, and then that finish.
Because right before the bitter finish, there's nectarine. Wow.
I'm
This
gonna
is
go.
awesome.
I'm gonna go higher. I'm gonna go more of like a 4.45.
Yeah, that's probably right. Yeah, I was there. Yeah,
Yeah?
that's what I'm saying. Same 4.45.
Perfect.
Whoa.
Yeah. Nice.
I am like sincerely impressed. Nicole, great
Spot
choice.
on.
Really great choice.
Spot
And now
on.
we know Conclave is legit.
They're living up to from the very first thing we discussed about the brewery. They are. This is a very sophisticated beer.
Wow.
Well
Gotta
done.
find some Conclave.
Well done.
That was awesome.
Wow.
Still is awesome.
Good for us.
Wow.
It's good to be us.
Right now it is.
Amen.
I'm very excited to hang out later. You know, like we did last time.
Right.
We did an episode and then we hung out, but like we didn't. Okay, well, let's get into it a little bit. So if you listened to the last episode, my fiance went away for the weekend on a bachelorette party. Nick's Nick is also away for the weekend.
Yep. Nancy's in Florida.
Danny's wife Nicole, thank you for the beer, is also away.
This is how we
the
all
weekend.
get robbed. Oh no, this will go out later. This will go
We'll be
out.
home.
We'll be home.
It's
yeah.
okay.
Don't rob us.
So I texted the group and like, hey, everyone want to get together? Yeah. I said, let's make it a retro night. Oh, what's that? Well, I mean, for us anyway, it's like N64 or video games, drinking games, and just like hanging around, shooting the shit like we are now, but just in a bigger group.
I'm gonna bad mom smoke all night. For those of you that don't know what
Accurate.
bad smoke is, bad smoke mom is mom that stands with the sliding back door.
Just
Pretty much
just opened
right-
and half out.
Yep, pretty much centered right in the middle of your chest, right at your clavicle, and you've got one hand extended as far as it can outside, and that's what's holding your, I guess if you're a suburban bad mom smoker, a Misty 120 perhaps.
I've never heard of that. It sounds terrible.
Oh, they're slim for the feminine hand.
Oh, okay, fancy.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm in for tonight. That's gonna be the key to a good night. I'm gonna
I'll be
bring
along
this-
for the ride, I guess.
I'm gonna bring this back on track.
Yeah. So anyway,
We were talking about
keys.
keys. I loved this subject
So many kinds of keys.
significantly more than I thought I was going
There
to.
are so many kinds of keys.
Shall I start traditional or perhaps expected?
Sure, but first, how about let's say some of the ones we missed.
Oh,
So like we said,
goodness.
Francis Scott Key, right?
Francis Scott Key.
How about WEP key, like on the back of
Oh,
a
a web
Wi-Fi?
key.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another good one.
Yep.
I didn't get into. Oh no, did I? I didn't get into musical keys,
Okay.
which was another one.
Oh, that's actually a good one too
Yeah.
that we didn't do.
Didn't get into that one.
Oh,
at
that
all.
would have been a fun one. But that also would have took me down a huge hole, and then I probably wouldn't be here because I'd be a musician because I would have learned how to read music.
Beautiful.
So maybe next episode.
So instead, we went other ways.
Right.
I began. Well, it's not what I began with, but I'll go a little traditional. So the computer keyboard. Did you go through the computer keyboard at all?
I did not actually.
So the layout, as we know it, it has changed over time, and usually with like technological advancements. All right, more than anything else.
So it wasn't always QWERTY.
Correct. It was not. So in fact, QWERTY realistically came about in 1874.
Oh, a long time ago.
Oh, yeah. So because the fact is there was the Remington number 1. It was a typewriter. It was the first commercially successful typewriter that was put out by Scholes and Glidden in 1874. And they're the ones that introduced the QWERTY layout.
Interesting.
So initially, the idea for QWERTY, and for those that are not familiar, I guess we should, the top row of letters on your keyboard, QWERTY.
Right.
So initially, it was thought that the layout was like that so that like short common words, you wouldn't jam the typewriter. But that turned out not to be the case. And it was actually based on the Hughes Phelps printing telegraph machine.
Oh.
Which had its letters attached to like a piano keyboard, essentially.
Okay.
So the QWERTY layout then was solidified with the Remington number 2, which came out the next year, I believe.
The revolver? Just kidding.
Oh, okay.
I think that's a bigger gun. But anyway.
Yes. And because the fact is that they added the shift key, which was the first time that you can write, or you could type, in both uppercase and lowercase.
Interesting.
So despite the fact that like we all know QWERTY as a result, apparently it's not the most efficient way for us to type, but it's standard at this point.
Oh.
So more words in the English language can be typed with only the one hand, with your left hand.
Yeah.
In fact, it's like thousands
There's so many
of words.
Yep.
As opposed to words that can only be typed with your right hand, and the numbers are like roughly in the hundreds.
I can think of one. Look.
Oh yeah, look at that one. Okay, yeah. Ooh, well done.
That's it.
I was gonna say. Now I'm like searching for it at this point.
Toll. Nope.
No.
It's easier. Anyway.
So that's as far as I got with that, just because the fact is that, again, it was such a rabbit hole then to where, you go to...
What keyboard is efficient? What other keyboards were used before this?
Well, and there are, in certain cases, plenty of keyboards. There's the Arabic keyboard. There's the, Mandarin and Cantonese. There's even slightly different variations in Europe, depending upon the language there. So, like, Spanish ones will actually have... I believe it's shift and enter translated then into Spanish, but not all of the countries. Like Italy doesn't have it in Italian.
Oh.
France doesn't have it in French. Yeah, it's a whole big
weird.
thing.
Yeah,
it
really
is a
weird.
little strange.
Huh. Okay. That's awesome. I took it for granted because I thought about it and then searched it, and then I was like, nah, we just did computers.
And it's funny because when you suggested keys as well, I was like, did he have computer keys all put together?
No.
Oh, no?
Nope.
Okay.
I was thinking like physical key,
Oh, okay.
which I did not do anything on because
Neither did I.
Who cares? We've been using them our whole lives.
Neither did I.
I'm not going to go into explaining like how each one is affixed at a certain height and how you push it into a lock and all the things slide up and that's how a door opens. We're not going to do that.
We're not going to do that. We're not going to do it. See, what he just did is not what we're going to do.
Right, but you know what we're going to do? How about a key to the city?
Oh yeah. You know what's funny is that so when I spoke with Nick earlier, he had mentioned this. He was like, "Oh, what about like the idea of key to the city?"
That's a good one. Nick and I.
There you go.
Yep. So this was a medieval practice.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's been around for much longer than we would have thought, or I thought anyway.
I don't know if you just saw, but the light bulb went off in my head.
It did. I think you're going to realize what I'm about to say next. Yeah. So this was meant to confer trust and honor between a guest in a city and the city itself. Because
it was specifically for a guest.
Yes. So back then, cities were walled off with a gate. Mm-hmm. So at nighttime, when the cities were locked, if it was a guest who's either earned the trust of the city or someone who frequents there, they were given a key to the city, like an actual key to the city. That is how it started. It was a legitimate key.
Interesting.
So it could have been a friend of city residents or just someone trusted by whoever was in charge.
Yeah.
So although modernly it's figurative, I'm sorry, it is figurative modernly. By the 1800s, it became customary that a city key be given away to extinguished guests.
Oh,
So this has gone on for, it never stopped.
I love this idea so much.
I know. I don't have a date, but as of this article I found on brown.edu, which was weird, it didn't even have like an updated date, which I found interesting for Brown especially.
Yeah.
Mayor Bloomberg has given away some 30 keys to the city of New York, or had given away 30 keys to the city of New York at the time of this article.
Yeah.
Could be more, I don't really know. But notably, Alex Rodriguez,
Yeah.
the Dalai Lama, and Nelson Mandela, who that was his second key.
But he lose the first one?
Well, it doesn't say. I don't know if it's his second key to Manhattan or is it his second
like
key
to
to
New
another,
York.
right? Or to another, does he have a key to another city?
Oh, okay.
I don't
see
know
what
if
you're
it was
saying.
his second Manhattan key or was it, has he been given a key to like Tallahassee?
You know what's kind of interesting in you saying that? So I'm assuming then that 30, or it implies that 30 is a lot.
Yes.
I think that I was always under the assumption that this was a significantly more common practice.
It's
Maybe I think television always seems to like show it on like TV shows. So like,
right.
maybe that's what it is.
People get it. Maybe it's that Bloomberg has the single most, or has one of the higher ones. But it seems like this is something for esteemed guests now.
Yeah.
Or people who are very, very highly
great-
noted or touted.
Yeah, like great
Great
prominence.
people, right?
Huh. That's fun.
And then this was just the last fact I found on this page. Ironically enough, Saddam Hussein was given the key to Detroit in 1980.
Oh my goodness. Well, if Detroit wasn't Baghdad before Baghdad was Baghdad.
Fair enough. Is that a Family Guy episode or an American Dad episode where it's I think it is Saddam Hussein and he's like working at the CIA but he just has his beard shaved and like nobody knows it's him.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, you haven't seen this? Maybe
I
gotta
mean, there's no way that I haven't. I've seen every episode, but
it's definitely one of those
you're
two.
gonna
It can't
have
be
to
anyone.
show it.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah. And it's just like him and it's like, hey Ron, how's it going? And it, like you can't see his face and he's totally shaved.
Oh, that's
Yeah, it's funny.
genius.
Yep.
Because for those of our younger listeners or younger viewers, we used to support him. That's what we do.
Yeah. There's this whole conspiracy on that too. Like that he actually was a CIA agent in this time, like the 80s.
Oh, well, he was very close friends with or close friends, but yeah, I mean, had very close connections with like US government officials and in particular George Bush Sr., who before becoming vice president was head of the CIA.
That's true, but I didn't know he had ties with.
Oh, there's a photo. There's like a photo of them together
Oh,
because
interesting.
Yeah, because we used to support Saddam. History,
Anyway,
folks. It's very important.
would you like me to take us to piano keys?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
This is a fun one for me.
tickle the ivories.
Tickle the ivories. So this is actually personal to me because I grew up, like Nick said, he grew up with a computer in his house. I did as well. I also grew up with a keyboard in my house because my mom played light keyboard.
Oh.
Like, couldn't really sight read,
Yeah.
but could read the music and then play it.
That's funny as hell. My dad did too.
Really?
Like when we were very young, had like bought a keyboard because he was like, I'm gonna play a keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom was actually pretty decent. She would play like church psalms.
Oh, those are nice.
And that's
easy,
actually
too.
what I originally had learned.
Bum, bum,
Right.
bum.
So I think
I
that's
think
Seven
actually, I was
Nation
gonna
Army.
say I don't know why I made it like that. It's
So even when I was younger, I had seen her play, and I talk about it all the time. The Legend of Zelda is one of my favorite games of all time.
yeah.
So the first one was the Ocarina of Time, and in the game you could play the ocarina, and even though they weren't actual music notes, they were like controller buttons. There was a musical staff in the game, so I would translate it because I knew from my mom how to read the sheet and translate it from the game, and then play it on my little keyboard.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
Oh, shit.
So like even in like I remembered that while I was writing this, And I was like, oh, wow. Even when I was little, like a little bit of musical talent.
There you go.
Don't know where I got it from. No one else has any. But I got it. So anyway, piano keys.
Yeah.
Right? You mentioned that they were made of ivory, but they're mostly made of wood.
Oh.
So actually the white and the black keys, the white keys are... The black keys are either ebony or another hardwood that's stained black.
Okay.
And then the white keys are basswood. I have it in here. I'm going to find it. But only the top piece of the white key is either a hard plastic or ivory. There's only a tiny, tiny little thin piece at the top.
Oh, and I got to assume at this point in time, it's almost all plastic.
Probably.
Yeah, considering I don't think you're allowed to
Right.
produce stuff with ivory anymore.
Exactly.
Huh.
So there are 88 keys on a standard piano.
Right.
88 keys, grand piano. Standard keyboard has 61. So not a like a synthesizer, I guess, but like a
full-on Casio.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Okay. So on the 88 keys, there are 52 white and 36 black. On the 61, 36 and 25.
Okay.
So across the 88 keys, we have, I believe it is 7 octaves. 7 or 11 octaves. Why is it not here?
11 sounds right.
It does because it rounds off.
Yeah.
But it's not true because there's actually extra notes on the lower end of the piano.
So there are 7?
It's in here.
Okay.
It's just not where I want it to be. Lower end synthesizers, so like the smaller ones.
Yeah.
Probably like the one I had when I was a kid, can come in as little as 25 keys. And typically most home use keyboards are either 29 keys, 61 keys, or actually I was surprised to hear the 76 keys.
Oh,
because that's kind of bigger than a standard keyboard.
Interesting. Like, why there would be such a variation.
Right. So, like I said, typically they're made of wood. Here we go. Spruce or basswood for the white keys.
What the hell is basswood?
I'm not sure.
Never heard that. Just deep wood.
Sounds like the most musical wood there is, though.
It does.
If I had to guess.
Yes, of course. There's always the piccolo pine. Let's not forget about that.
Ooh, I didn't even know that.
Not a thing.
You son of a bitch.
Not a thing. Sorry. The oboe oak.
You shouldn't have even said anything because you had me hook, line, and sinker.
Damn it.
Dude. Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. On to my next page. So I was actually correct. There are 7 octaves with a couple of extra notes below low C.
Okay.
Yeah, and probably on the high C too. Same thing. I didn't realize this, but there are 7 white keys and 5 black keys in an octave.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's the way it broke down.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fascinating.
And then I found something very interesting, which I think makes learning how to play piano very easily. So on the piano, the black keys very specifically are spaced out in 2s and 3s.
Correct.
Right? Okay. 2, it's referred to as chopsticks.
Right.
And I'll tell you why in a second. And the 3 is referred to as a fork, which is really easy because forks have 3 prongs and chopsticks are only 2.
Right.
But the white key directly on the left of the black key that starts the chopsticks is a C. And the one that starts the fork is an F.
I love the way it just managed to work out that way.
Yep, I know. It's genius.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, whoever thought that up is a genius. So I think that makes it very easy. And I wanted to highlight a couple of piano pieces that I really love that I think are like monumental in the way they were written. Do you know Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata?
Yes. Oh my goodness.
It's like a 15-minute long piece of piano, and it is beautiful.
If I'm not mistaken, that was one of his last pieces.
I think you're right.
And that was at the point when he was
going deaf.
Correct.
Deaf.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. Hey man, you know what? Like, just like I could probably blindfold you and you could roll a cigarette.
That's
if you heard those notes a million times a day for your entire life, you could hear them in your sleep.
And if I'm not mistaken as well, didn't he know it by the vibration? Was like part
I've
of like,
never heard that, but I would believe it.
I thought it also had to do a little bit with the fact is that like he knew the vibration
of the key.
Yes.
That's probably true because if you pound them enough, you could definitely tell.
Absolutely. Come on. Yeah. We all know, when you drive your car, I was thinking about it recently because I thought something was up with my car and I was like, if I took this to if I brought it in, they would take it around the block and go, no, nothing's wrong. And I thought about it and I was like, it's because I'm in this car every day.
Right.
I know the way it's supposed to run all the time. So I got to assume it's the same sort of thing.
Yep.
And that was a tangent and a half.
No,
but,
you're
you
right.
know.
I got you. Yeah, you need to know your instrument.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. By the way, getting a ton more coconut out of this now.
As it's gone by,
Yeah, it's gotten warmer. Much less strawberry, much more coconut.
I like it.
Yeah, me too. This is a great pick.
Moving from, again, very seamlessly.
Oh, nice.
From piano keys, I obviously had to go ahead and look up Alicia Keys.
Love it.
Didn't plan it, folks.
Phenomenal performer.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal performer.
So she was born, actually, Alicia Aguelo Cook. All right. And she is a classically trained pianist.
Definitely.
I did not know this part, however, is that she began composing her own songs at 12 and was first signed to Columbia Records at 15.
Wow. I knew it was young. Like, I knew she was young when she, like, really broke out, but I didn't realize she was that young when she got signed.
I didn't either. And
It's incredible.
So she was, growing up, or she grew up, like in Hell's Kitchen, if
Right.
anything. Growing up again through the 80s, early 90s, it was when the city was still a particularly like rough place. So like her mother really kind of encouraged her to stay focused on arts and whatnot, in particular piano, and it clearly paid off because at the end of it all, she has sold nearly 90 million records, making her one of the best selling artists of all time.
And she deserves it.
100%. She's got 15 Grammy wins, 17 NAACP awards, 12 ASCAP awards. She's ranked as she comes in at number 10 on the top 50 rap and R&B artists of the past 25 years, and twice she was listed on Time Magazine's 100 most influential people.
Wow.
In 2005 and in 2017.
That is no small feat.
No.
Not any of those.
She is still, I believe, just for reference, and, age is all like relative and the whole nine yards, but like someone like that, she is, I believe at this point,
in her 40s?
barely.
Right? She's not that much older than we
If
are.
I remember correctly, January 28th, 1981.
Oh, she's only, I thought about 10 years older than us.
She's about 42, 43 years old then. So like
she has so much more to do.
She has emerged as well as like an activist and a philanthropist.
Yes.
She is the co-founder and ambassador for Keep a Child Alive, which is an HIV/AIDS nonprofit focusing on families in Africa and in India, and works for a number of different charitable organizations. She's married. She tries to keep her private life just that, private.
It's great.
So she is married to Swiss Beats, who is
really?
a producer. Yeah. And again, they've been married at this point for just about 12-ish years.
And nobody knows.
Nope. They got 2 kids too.
And nobody knows.
And I wrote this down, and this was part of it. So, and not to put us on a different track by any means, but Alicia Keys is part of my 9/11 ritual. Okay. I don't, we grew up in the area. It happened. It was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Things happened afterwards. 9/11 is a day. But I've got one tradition or ritual for myself. Empire State of Mind Part 2 broken down. The version that she sings, I'm allowed to play it once. I'm allowed to weep. And then I go about my day. Swear to God,
okay.
That is the only thing
I don't think I've ever heard that.
Oh, the
version. No.
Oh, you absolutely
I'm sure I'm going to love it.
Yeah, she changes a lot of the Jay-Z lyrics to be a little bit like softer and whatnot. And she had said, she was like, we did, Empire State of Mind together. And she said, she was like, I just wanted to see what it might feel like if I had been the one that was like singing a majority of the lyrics.
Right.
And that's what she came up with. So something
cool.
changed. She's, again, highlights, if anything. She is an extraordinarily talented artist.
She's a phenomenal pianist. Like,
incredible.
yeah. And, also, like, and we were witness to this together because I've vividly, and not her, but
I was going to say,
Lady Gaga. Years
Stephanie
ago.
Germano.
I don't know if you know what I'm about to say.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So years ago, Nick and I were together, and I think we were like hanging out with.
I think we were up at I thought we were up at school.
We were either at your place, your parents' place, or at your school.
Yeah.
And somebody I feel like it was your sister who threw on the video, and that's why I think we were at your place.
Oh, you might be right.
But she put on a video of what's her name, Stephanie
Germano.
Before she was Lady Gaga, like when she was at NYU and performing at one of their showcases. And man, can this girl fucking play the keys? My goodness,
it's amazing.
I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it.
These are the talented people.
Yeah.
These are the talented people.
Yep. Okay. I'm going away from music. We're going to key codes.
Oh.
So electronic locks with a pin code, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a stretch, but you know what? I feel limber today. So
a loosey goosey.
Feeling limber. So we're gonna do it. So pin pad style locks that typically require some sort of key code punch in, whether it's 4 numbers or whatever you decide it's gonna be.
Yeah.
So like even if you haven't seen one of these, everyone or mostly everyone has a pin code for your debit card.
Oh yeah.
Very, very relatable.
Duh.
Right. Using only 4 numbers to create a code, there are 10,000 possible combinations of codes.
That's not good.
Well, why? What do you mean?
I like from a security perspective. There's only 10,000 combinations. Like,
sure, but also like, how long would you have to sit there to figure out which one it would be? Like,
I'm not denying. I'm not denying
okay.
that fact.
Okay.
Like it would. Yeah, if I was an individual person,
it doesn't sound like that many. You're absolutely right.
Right.
So then I got curious. So I was like, what if you use all 10 numbers, including 0?
Okay.
1 through 9 and 0. If you include all 10 numbers, it go from 10,000 combinations to a staggering 10 billion combinations.
Oh, just with the addition of the 1 0.
No. With the extra.
Oh, I'm sorry.
6 numbers.
Oh shit.
Yeah. We go from 10,000 to 10 billion.
That I like.
So I don't know why you would, but if you could remember a 10-digit code, the chances of someone guessing that are like actually impossible.
I like that one though.
Yeah.
I think you could remember.
You probably could if you made it like, something like a sequence of numbers.
Well, just think about your birthday in general.
Right.
2 months, 2 days. 4. That's 8, Nick.
That'd be
4.
That'd be the first thing I guess for you.
Oh, I wouldn't do that. That's minor. I've gotten to that point in life now where I'm just like, pick something stupid and random. Look around you. That's your new password. Done.
That's fair.
It's great. It works.
That's fair. That's actually a great way to make a new password.
It's beautiful.
I love that. So that number is insane. We've talked about a lot of numbers the last 2 episodes, and it's too much for me. So these digital door locks, following the modern trend, they've become smart. They've become advanced.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So they don't just unlock the door now. Now they offer voice control. Starting to get a little antsy. They offer voice control, right? They also offer like an alarm that you can sound, or that it will sound for you if somebody tries to break in. It's like a visible, like an audible alarm for, let's say, someone who's trying to break in to hear it, to be deterred from trying to break into your place. They even have remote access via Wi-Fi now, so you can unlock it from like your phone. Which like at this point, you don't even really need, like, the pin pad is just a backup, because if you can't unlock it from your phone, or I can't unlock it with my voice, then I got to punch in my pin code.
Yeah, I mean,
at this point,
realistically,
right? And then
Well, think about everybody's like, even think about like your phone. Even at this,
right?
I don't use the pin code unless I'm like prompted to.
Right. I've got I got the facial on my iPhone, facial recognition.
Yeah.
But I have the thumbprint on my Android.
I've got the thumbprint on my Android, and then interestingly, at the airport, I am a Clear member, so like for like Clear security.
Mm-hmm.
So I have the retinal scan.
You do?
I do.
That's bougie.
You know how much it is?
That is so bougie.
You want to know how much it is, my friend? It is nothing.
0?
Nothing.
Because you travel a lot?
No, just because the fact is that it's offered to anybody that flies United.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh my God. When we just went out to Vegas, and then I'll stop yammering on because I don't want to give up the secret. When we went to Vegas, back in December, we got to the security line. I turned around to my parents, my sister, and I was like,
See ya.
I'll see you guys on the other side of the
love
security gates. Yep. And that's exactly what happened.
That's funny. I didn't know that they also have like swipe cards too.
Oh.
Much like another thing we didn't do, key fob for your car.
Oh, or
much
key
like
fob for anything.
Right.
That's how I get in and out of here.
So much like a key fob, if you're even in the vicinity or the proximity of the door with the card key on you,
yeah,
the door unlocks.
Huh.
Yeah. That one is a little hairy. But if you're there, if the person, if you have the card.
There's so much smart everything at this point.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I mean, I understand. I appreciate it. At the same time, I don't know. And it's not me being like a conspiratorial, like they're going to break in or they got my data. It's just like, I don't know if I want that. If I'm away.
Yeah.
I'm away.
I'm with you. I'm against it because I don't want the Alexa.
I don't have that either. No.
I don't need the hey Google, put on my lights. Like I don't need that. I don't need.
I guarantee you that you may have just said that, and my phone probably activated.
It might have.
I use it in the car. That's the only place I do use it.
Okay, that makes sense. That's safe.
Yes.
I mean, hey.
I had an entire conversation actually yesterday, via text, but all with voice.
See, and that's one of the wonderful things about technology.
I love it.
But also then you got to think about what are they doing with your voice after it's processed through your phone.
Listen, the amount of things that my voice is on, my good sir, is irrelevant at this point in protecting my.
That's fair.
Yeah. I've done a thing or two for money. So.
You know what though? Like the smart things, like I don't want to harp on it, but they really do freak me out. I told you the story about how I unplugged my parents' Alexa.
Yeah.
And then the only reason they found out was because it continued to make noise.
Oh, I mean...
And they had to go over to it and they were like, wait, why is there a red ring on this? Because I
believe
it.
I believe it.
It's very shit. It reminds me of the Furbies.
Listen, my television, we already know it's not even... They're all recording all the time.
All the time.
And that's kind of the thing. So it's one of those where it's like, until, and again, God only knows, but like until it ever is, any of that content is ever used nefariously, until it's ever used nefariously, it is going to exist. So might as well maybe try and at least use it for a benefit. You
know what I can't get out of my mind? And you're going to remember as soon as I bring it up. Have you seen Terminator?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember we were up at the house?
Oh, my God.
And like at 2 or 3 in the morning. That always sticks out to me.
Oh, my
when we talk about this
it was an infomercial for like when they were putting out
Terminator.
T3.
Yeah. So like we
God.
had a couple drinks and we were all on the couch and it was really, really late and we're up in, like nowhere in the woods. And all like 5 of us are sitting on the couch and chilling out. There are not many channels up there, so we were, we took what we can get. And all of a sudden, we're sitting there, and it's an infomercial. And we're watching, and all of a sudden, the broadcast gets interrupted. And it's a Skynet advertisement in the middle of this infomercial. God. And there were the 5 or 6 of the guys, like
what is this?
Looking at each other like,
is this real right now?
And then eventually it got to the point where it became so like, okay, no one knows if this is real or not. Like someone was like, okay, change the channel. If it's on every channel, then we know it's real. Like if it's not, then we're okay.
Oh, God, what a bunch of jackasses.
It's a great time.
Oh. So I went down another route as well. The Florida Keys.
Ooh, that's a good one. Have you ever been?
Yes.
Okay. I went once as well.
Or not mistakenly. I was there. I got off the island. I got off the boat. I went around the island for about 45 minutes by myself. Because I had like a night the night before, and I was like, I guess I should get off. And
were you on a cruise?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now, so the Florida Keys. It's a Coral Cay archipelago off the southern coast of Florida, forming the southernmost part of the continental U.S.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Closest point to Cuba.
The closest southern point. And then so if anything, it begins 15 miles south of Miami, goes like southwest, stops, and then goes west, like directly west.
Oh, okay.
So
That
you
makes
are
sense.
correct,
Key
though.
West.
Yes. So the goes west before the furthest most island, which is the uninhabited dry Tortugas. Tortugas is what it's called, that last island. So it was originally inhabited by the Calusa and the Tequesta tribes, and then was first charted by Ponce de Leon
Of course.
in 1513. And he originally called them Los Matias, which is, or that's, I don't know, that was French. I know he was Spanish, which is Spanish for the martyrs, because he said that the islands from a distance looked like suffering men.
Oh.
I have no
What
idea.
What a comparison.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not a good one.
No.
So for the longest time, it was only accessible by water until the completion of Henry Flagler's overseas railway. And it was built over the course of 7 years, between 1905 and 1912.
Wow.
And in certain regards, it is, or was referred to as, the eighth wonder of the world. Like, people thought it was amazing that this railway was built, again, over the water, essentially, to connect all of these. It was interrupted like 3 different times, though, by 3 different hurricanes in 1906, 1909, and 1910, until it was finally finished in 1912. And it cost just over $50 million to build, which at the time, was an astronomical amount of money.
Yep.
And it was in operation from 1912 till 1935. So much of the railway, if anything, I got really into this, and I don't know why. I was fascinated by it. Much of the railway was then destroyed by the Category 5 Labor Day hurricane in 1935, which is often referred to as the storm of the century.
Oh.
Have you ever heard of this?
I've heard that moniker used, but I didn't know it was pertinent to this storm.
So just as it's a quick list of reasons why. So just to give you reference. So the hurricane was the strongest on record in terms of pressure, tied with Hurricane Dorian from 2019 for the strongest storm to hit by maximum sustained wind speed at 185 miles per hour.
Whoa.
It is the 3rd most intense hurricane to make landfall in the Atlantic Basin. It is only one of 4 Category 5 hurricanes to make landfall, and it packed a storm surge of 18 to 20 feet. It was an immensely powerful hurricane. So, as a result, it damaged or destroyed huge sections of this railway. And at one point, 40 miles of railway was just washed away. As a result, then, they had to, the railway was bankrupt, and they had to sell it to the state. And that's now, they used a lot of that infrastructure to build the overseas highway that you can now drive.
Oh, yeah.
All the way across.
Which I have driven on.
Oh, have you really?
I took a trip to the Keys once, but unfortunately I was only 19 years old.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to do anything fun.
Okay.
There's a nude bar there.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of
there's
crazy
so much
shit
to
down
do
there.
there, but it's very cool. There's a key that I remember driving through multiple times called No Name Key.
Okay.
And it's a key without running power or water.
Oh.
But there are still houses there.
Huh.
It's very interesting. It's very different from here.
Oh, entirely.
And not even just because of the region.
Not because it's Florida.
And not because it's Florida. Everyone talks about New Jersey being an armpit, but Florida kind of looks like an armpit too.
My doctor just recently made jokes to me about being from New Jersey.
Come on, man.
He was like, everybody says they make jokes about New Jersey. You got to be ready. I was like, yes, doctor, I understand. We're the armpit of America, but hey, we don't pump our own gas. And then I walked out.
And we don't smell
And we don't smell
bad.
Well,
we smell good.
We smell all right.
We smell all right.
So do you have anything else?
I don't, but you go ahead because there's one more thing I wanted to say.
Okay, so this is the reason why I ask is because it's a little timely, but I'll try to make it.
Okay,
I'll try
all right,
to make it appropriate.
then let me go first.
Okay,
because mine's very, very short.
Oh, okay.
I want to just bring it back to what you were talking about with this hurricane, and the 180 mile an hour sustained winds.
185.
Everyone takes it for granted that we're on a fucking spinning blue marble that is constantly going at 800 plus miles per hour. So like, watch out, because Mother Nature's coming, whether you want it or not.
Coming to get you.
Scene.
It's funny you do say that because of I had to take myself like away because
those things like forces of nature. I love forces of nature.
I love hurricanes.
They're one of the coolest.
Fucking love.
But you pick a hurricane over tornado?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
The reason why, we'll make this quick. The reason why is because hurricanes, if you run really hard at something, you can knock it down.
Okay.
That's your tornado. But if you just keep lightly punching,
body blows. Yeah.
To something.
That's a hurricane.
Not only is it going to knock it down, but it's going to completely destroy it.
Yeah.
And there's something about a hurricane where it's like, this motherfucker will hunker down over
and chill.
200 miles worth of land and just be like, I'm going to dump rain and fucking water and wind on you for 12 hours. Good fucking luck.
You know what it is?
Excuse my language.
Hurricanes are patient. Tornadoes are not.
They're not. That's why it starts and it's over. They get a little excited.
Hurricanes want to hang.
They start all the way out and then off the coast of Africa.
And imagine like, how many times have we heard like Category 5 in the water, and then it comes to land and it's not that bad.
Many times.
Right. So we've been lucky.
I've become so familiar with the NOAA.
Oh yeah, have you?
Website. Dude, you have no idea. Nick always says, he was like, you're so into this. Why do you love hurricanes? I'm like, I don't know. I think it's also because of where I live and I want to see the sea get angry.
It does.
And it
okay.
Yes, it does.
One thing, and then we're stopping on natural disasters, because if I'm picking one, it's going to be a volcano or an earthquake.
Ooh, no earthquake.
Those are my two.
I will pass hard on that.
Those are my two. Well, I mean, like my two favorite ones to think about. Like I don't want to be in the middle of an earthquake.
I was going to say, all right.
Or volcanic eruption. Although, fun fact, if you do ever find yourself in a bit of lava, you won't feel any pain because it'll burn your nerve endings right off.
Silver line. Dear Pompeii, a love letter from Beer's End.
Just saying.
So, the Florida Keys. I'm going to keep with it.
Yeah.
It's also the home of the former, but what is sometimes still referred to as the Conch Republic.
Yes.
Are you familiar with
Yes.
Are you really?
Yeah.
So what do you know about the Conch Republic?
This was years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, and I went on vacation to the Florida Keys with my girlfriend and her parents. So, like, only in passing, but I know it was, like, at least when they were talking about it, a big, like, to-do.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really know much about it. So I'm intrigued because for a while I was like, what is that? What are we talking about? I kind of sat there and it's like, oh, yeah.
Oh, totally. I remember the great peoples of the Conch Republic.
I'm really interested.
So in 1982, the U.S. Border Patrol had set up roadblocks on US 1 to check for illegal, like, narcotics or illegal, like, immigrants or travelers, that were moving through the area. So where they had set it up was essentially the only two roads that were, where one had access then to get to the Keys.
Okay.
So as a result, this had a big impact on tourism in the area. So the mayor and the city council of Key West were questioning the federal government. They were like trying to figure out, like, what are you doing? why is this going on? Like, how long is this going to last? It's really impacting our livelihoods. They got no answer. They kept asking. They got no answer. So Key West mayor, his name was Dennis Wardlow, feeling that the blockades were functioning as if they were like separating a foreign country, decided, as a form of protest, that the city council would approve sovereign independence on April 23rd, 1982. So they did. They voted to essentially secede from the United States. Wardlow was named prime minister, and he immediately declared war on the United States. Yep. He had done so, and I don't know this portion necessarily. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, I wish I knew
great.
this back then.
And again, folks, this is the 1980s. He symbolically broke a loaf of stale Cuban bread over the head of a man dressed in a Navy uniform, quickly surrendered only 1 minute after secession to the same man, and then applied for $1 billion in foreign aid. And again,
the law.
I read about it, man. I'm going, it was done mostly naturally as a publicity stunt.
Sure.
However, it worked.
Sure.
And they
he followed the law.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he did.
Wait. Oh, man. Okay.
It goes on. Just a little
there's
bit
more.
Oh, my God.
Keep it coming.
On September 20th of 1995.
I'm quite literally crying because it's so funny.
Because it's so fucking funny.
This is so funny.
This is the one that, like, I can't wrap my brain around entirely, but still. On September 20th of 1995, a battalion of the U.S. Army Reserves were going to be doing exercises off the coast of Florida. And they were going to simulate landing on an island and then conducting affairs on the island as if those folks that were living there were the inhabitants. So basically, foreigners.
Sure.
No one from the reserve had notified anybody from the conch, like the conch officials.
No.
So Wardlow, who this is now, again, 13 years later, he was still mayor of
95, right?
95. He mobilized the whole island for a full-scale war. He sent out a schooner, which was named the Western Union, out to attack an incoming Coast Guard cutter with water balloons.
He sent a schooner.
He sent a fucking schooner to hit them with water balloons, conch fritters, and stale Cuban bread.
Why has nobody made a movie about this?
I have no idea because
This is amazing.
I'm rapping with this, but there are 2 or 3 other incidents involving the Conch Republic. So they throw water balloons, conch fritters, and stale bread. The Coast Guard fires their like water hoses, like their fire water hoses at them, and they end, quote unquote, the battle.
Yeah.
The mayor, again, Wardlow, made a complaint to the Department of Defense and basically did say, he was like, no one was notified.
He's absolutely right.
100%. The DOD apologized and then submitted to a surrender ceremony on September 22nd. So 2 days later, after this all happened, the Department of Defense formally surrendered to the Conch Republic. The United States.
Out of all the things we've ever talked about, this is quite literally my favorite thing.
I got a weird question for you.
Okay.
We had an episode with some of our buddies.
Sure.
That was all well and good. We've never really then had an official guest. Do you think Dennis Wardlow, the former mayor of Key West, Florida.
If I could get Dennis Wardlow in here, book it.
Mayor Prime Minister Wardlow.
Yes, so please address him by his official title.
O sovereign ruler of the great Conch Republic.
We hereby
If you enjoy a beer and would love to just
do some end.
chit chat about your phenomenal republic filled with wonderful people and questionable tattoos, we would love for you to join us on Beers and at the entire episode, I'll say it, it'll be Beers and the Contrapublic.
It has to be.
And we would love to feature you on our show.
That sounds like a Destinations episode to me.
I'm not joking.
I'm not joking.
To contact if the man is still, we hope, alive.
I'm quite literally not joking that I would be okay with this.
Should we end here? Because I'm actually like, I'm a little.
Yeah, I want to end here. I want to end here, but I want to end on this note. I want to end on this note. If this story teaches you anything, go learn the law.
Go learn the law.
Because you can get away with a lot.
Mm-hmm. He did it all right.
And on that note, stay classy.
I fought the law and the
law won.
I fought the law and the law won. Goodbye.